being able to govern without a majority of lawmakers from your party is dead on arrival. But if they are still doubting, just share. I mean, share. There is no problem. When we get into Aso Rock, when we start remaking our nation and banishing poverty from the lives of our people and lifting over 80 million of our people out of poverty, we will show them what is truly possible. My brothers and my sisters, don't let anyone deceive you with cynicism. It's the easiest thing to have. It doesn't cost money to be a cynic. These people told us that we were wasting our time fighting for June 12th. Well, here we are today. They honored the people that they selected as having fought for June 12th. They told us, when I was in government, to stop wasting my time, that due process cannot work in Nigeria. Well, you should better go and ask the PDP goons of that era what happened when the forces of darkness met Madam Due Process. They told me that not one single Chibok girl can be rescued. Madam, run your map and go home. Leave the Unity's fountain. We ignored them. We kept demanding for our girls until at least 107 of them are now back home. And we will continue until the remaining 112 and yet Sharif come home. You know, I know someone who can answer that question. The name of that person is Peter Obi. I hear he is with the PDP these days. Maybe he can help explain to you how he managed to govern as APGA governor in my state, Anambra, despite the majority of lawmakers belonging to a different party, PDP at that time. Oh, he's with them. People who make this empty argument are blissfully ignorant of how elections are won and political parties are built in many nations across the world. They are also deeply unaware that across the world, wielding the presidency as a tool to reshape the entire political configuration of a country, as well as strong third party and independent candidacy, are a legitimate strategy that have won elections from Italy to Kosovo, from France to Germany, from Portugal, Nigerians, and you're talking about waiting for 4 more years later. There is a fierce urgency of now. If we do not intervene now, we may not have a country to rescue in 2023. And to those who swear that we cannot win, those who mock our hope, I have only this to say to you: get ready to be shocked when Nigerians get ready to be shocked when Nigerians finally get the message that they have the numbers, the power, and the last word. There are only 2 candidates in this election: Butiku and the Nigerian people. And I am the candidate of the Nigerian people. You can keep trusting in the power of your purses, which you have filled with coins from our common wealth. You can keep trusting in the power of the security agents you will commandeer. The reach of our movement will be greater than anything you could ever muster. You will buy your own. We will persuade, inspire, and get our own. In case you don't know, I know, because we have the data. Yes, we are the campaign of the people that love data. They are probably asking, what is data in the other camps? Because they don't even know what data is. We know that there are millions of passionate and patriotic Nigerians, young and old, men and women, rich and poor, from the north and from the south, who sense that this current cycle of failure in our country is unsustainable, and who are eager to join a movement to disrupt this rigged political system. If you are one of them, open to voting for us and supporting us, but you are genuinely worried about our chances when you look at the Goliaths standing against us, I say to you, my friends, let not your heart be troubled, for this shall be the 21st century David defeating the Goliaths. Did you hear me? If you heard me, I need you to tell me you heard me.
Yes, I heard you.
Find every sleeping voter and wake them up. They can't sleep on their destinies. We know the sleeping voters who are yet to be activated, and our mission through our massive data network is to find each and every one of them who have their cards but who have refused to vote, and convert them one by one, community by community, into all the voting communities of this country. We will have canvassers, we will have small donors. It is already happening. It is already happening. Those sleeping voters, you know them. They are your friends, your family members. And you get courage, and you will suddenly be ready to do the work you should have been doing since. No way. I am not giving you that excuse. We cannot wait until 2023. Butiku is already scheming to continue reigning this country from 2019. And you want to hand it over to them. Well, now is the time for us to ensure that all their scheming falls down flat. And if you insist that we must work towards 2023 instead, then that long-term fight that you would want, it starts this minute. You need to join us now. This country barely has 4 months, not to talk of 4 years, to continue experimenting on this path of failure. Have you seen the indicators? We are at the very edge of destruction. The country is on fire and we are fiddling while it burns. You think this is a game? The kind of resoluteness that I would have in tackling corruption in the country. And it won't simply be tackling corruption by asking the EFCC to get the enemies. It would simply be a comprehensive program against corruption. We would have measures that prevent the occurrence of corruption. Because we know that environments where you allow opportunity for corruption to happen, plenty of it happens. So for example, by saying to you that we will pursue the kinds of policies that would enable the private sector to drive our economic development, we will roll back aspects of economy where government has no business being. Once you roll that back, the people who do corruption in government in those sectors, that's the end of them. We will do the things that the reforms of institutions, so that the procedures through which things are done in government will be transparent, they will be open, and they would engage only to the extent that they do not permit opportunity for corruption. And then we would look at the sanction side of tackling corruption, and we would look at law and its enforcement. We would ensure that we have prosecutorial capacity and that investigation is done in a way that enables effective prosecution, which is not something that we're having right now. And then what we know in many other countries is that when a leader mirrors that moral integrity, that everybody is equal before the law in the fight against corruption, they get the legitimacy of the entire society to fight corruption. The number one and fundamental thing is that I will set the goal that the private sector will be the driver of economic growth for us. The private sector development is going to be major. And so private sector means that the focus on small businesses, medium-scale businesses, and the larger businesses will be very solid. We will make sure that the economic policies, monetary fiscal policies, the structural policies, and the sectoral policies will go toward providing an environment where people who do their businesses can do businesses productively and competitively. So it means that we will address the barriers of infrastructure, barriers of skills, human capital, the kind of talents that you need to be productive as a business person. We will address the issues of financial intermediation and the shallowness of access to financing. We will address issues that have to do with the basic competitiveness of our businesses, because they have a higher cost of doing business. When you think of the logistics cost and the cost of powering business, it already puts them at a disadvantage. We will address those kinds of barriers. And because my emphasis is going to be private sector, it means that the private sector will be at the center of helping us deal with the issues of investment necessary in infrastructure and in human capital and other aspects of development. My final point on this economic issue is to state that for us, the private sector is crucial. The reason it is crucial is that already Nigeria is in a post-oil economy. The budget performance that this administration released a few weeks ago shows that the total oil money is not enough to pay the 2 million workers in the public service, which therefore means that we have no other way to approach this in development terms than to work with the private sector vigorously, and that is what we shall do.